Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order, please. Thank you. Item 2 is adjustments to the agenda.
We do have a couple of adjustments, I apologize. I need to add accepting Victoria Gans's resignation from the Energy Committee. We can put that right at the end at, would that be 6T?
Can you speak up, please?
Sorry?
You need to speak up.
I'm not on. Hold on, that's the problem.
You're on, Brian. Just
Give me a...
maybe.
How about now? Little much though, we may have to bring me down a bit. Just my channel. Thanks. We have 2 adjustments. Yeah, accepting Victoria Gans's resignation from the
And no
Energy
minutes
Committee.
for the public hearing.
Sorry, what?
No minutes for the public hearing.
Right, the other one will be 8B we delete because there is a public hearing. We have no minutes to approve.
You putting it under 6T,
Yep.
the acceptance of Victoria's resignation?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a terribly long agenda.
Do I have a motion to that effect?
I'll make that motion.
A second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, please, Sarah.
Counselor Danny Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seeley?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. Item 3, public hearings. 3A is amendment of liquor license, Ye Old Hookers.
For information's sake, is upgrading the premises to a restaurant, from a lounge to a restaurant lounge. It has some changes with respect to how the state regulates it. And it does, of course, you'll see there's a map in there to expand their premises for increased services.
Anybody from the public like to speak for or against? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. 3B, renewal of liquor license for Horn Run Brewing. Anybody in the audience like to speak for or against that? Seeing none, I'll close that. We're on item 4, public open forum.
Do actions to the public hearing.
Okay.
Actions to the public hearing.
Since you haven't voted me yet, Victoria Gans, I'm here representing the Energy Committee, and since you haven't voted for non-resignation yet, the Energy Committee is going to do another window dressers bill this year. We have folks who have already done audits. We have much less money. Our funding was cut severely. The bill is going to be sometime in November, and we are looking for volunteers both for the committee and for window dressers for the actual build. If you are interested in either, please get in touch with Jeannie Peacock. Because we have less funding this year, we're going to do less number of windows, 10 windows per household instead of an entire household at one time. And the folks who have had an energy audit already will be top of the list. So they will be the first folks offered window dressers, window inserts. And then if we don't use all of those insert slots with the audited folks, then they will take from other people. So anybody interested, get in touch with Gene ASAP. That's all I have.
If I may briefly, I just realized what we don't have is action on public hearings. So I'm going to suggest that we just read 5 as action on public hearings and continue with public open forum.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's all right. Thank you, Victoria. John?
Oh, geez.
Feel free just to take it right out if that's easy.
For me, it actually is.
Thank you,
although
John.
My voice is so loud, it probably carries through the entire place. Benefits of being a theatrically born person. So, I'm standing in front of you to give an update. It's really hard to get actual time. The project that I have been working on has reached two flaws. Flaws number one is that there seems to be no follow-up emails from the city or any emails that seem to have been sent out from the city to the grant managers, making it impossible for us to receive any grant funding this year.
John, can you be clear what you're, I'm not sure what was
Oh,
what you're talking
the
about.
automatic, grant for automatic snow removers for our sidewalks. For the people who don't know, I've been working on this project for 2 years, and in the process of these 2 years, trying to get all of the paperwork together for April. The last date that it can be submitted, to my understanding, is August 1st for any type of 2027 funding. So if we do get a grant out, it will be 2028. The problem that we're going to run into is twofold. Number one, we are processing currently a voter amendment to restrict data management in the town of Eastport that will have a direct effect to how much we can actually get if it goes through. It's what I've spoken to earlier about unintended consequences. Currently, each one of the individual machines counts as a data collection computer, and the whole system would have been funneled in the overall management, and I'm not really sure under the ordinance how that would work. I haven't really gotten into it, but with the amount of sidewalks we have, the buildings that we use, it would definitely go over the 12,000 square foot collection. So that's something to be considered, since we are considering action on that at some point, either by voter or by council. The other problem we're running into is we are now 3 years behind. The Department of Transportation of Canada has been running a similar program within the province of Ontario, which is now being expanded to Quebec and to Saskatchewan, to clean the sidewalks. They have been testing and had great success with automatic snow removal of their sidewalks. This year, 5 communities in Ontario will be getting upgraded equipment to clear their streets. This equipment is an autonomous snowplow that runs at about 15 to 20 miles an hour, and it can clean a mile of street in about 15 minutes. It is electric. It can be ran on a power grid, or it can be run on autonomous power, such as a generator or a solar power panel. If we had looked at the proposal that I had drafted up, that has been at some point 2-3 years ago sent to council and the city manager, we were asking for $150,000. This year, that would have moved up to $250,000 just because of inflation. And that right now, as I see the project, we're going to be looking at $267,000. That includes, but is not limited to, the autonomous plows themselves, which are really, really great. If you've ever seen these things in action, they can clear driveways in a matter of minutes, blowing snow up to 8 feet in the air to a direction anywhere that you choose. They're really, really lovely things. That would include 10 of those units. It would include 10 solar power units. That's a 5x3 solar panel that can be plugged directly into the power grid. That will cover the times that we lose power here in Eastport when the solar panels are plugged into the power grid. When they are not producing power for the objects, they will be producing power that goes back directly into the grid that the city receives funding for. It would also include new computers and equipment, as well as interns from the University of Maine Robotics Department. That's how the grant had currently been drafted up. That was the cover letter that was drafted up 3 years ago that has been sitting somewhere in City Hall waiting to go out in email. So as it stands right now, we're looking probably at 2029 before this project could even be off the ground because of our delays. Having said that, there's a similar process going on in Michigan, in upper state Michigan, because these devices are so successful at removing snow, it cuts down on the municipal's cost. Thank you, whoever said that. But also cuts down on the municipal manpower hours. you have to spend an incredibly less amount of time for manpower hours. If the project got upgraded to include one or two of these new wonderful autonomous vehicles for cleaning streets, which would have been the obvious next place for it, you would be looking at a significant reduction in the manpower hours, and the project literally pays for itself within a decade. So I am hoping by bringing this to the council's attention today that the communications will start flowing again, since it hasn't flown since May, and we can get on this for the fiscal year 2029. If people could get back to me, I would appreciate that very, very much. And thank you for letting me give the update.
Thank you very much, John.
Oh, and if you have any questions, I'm here for questions.
I have a question, please. John, I have a question. What's the lifespan of one of those machines?
We'd have to be going on theory right now because this technology is so new, but the lifespan currently is probably somewhere between 10 and 15 years, the same as you would expect for a normal snowplow.
Okay. Thank you, John. Anyone else from the public? Gene?
What's the maintenance expenses on per year?
Oh,
I think these are long, this is a public forum. We can have a discussion with John on all of the issues, but we need to move on to the council's meeting. I'm sorry, John, but we have time. We do have time, and we will be discussing it, and we'll make sure that the emails start following.
thank you.
Thank you, John.
Are we doing the Jamie Pagram from 144 County Road?
Thank you very much.
Here we go. I have two quick questions on the agenda. One was, I'd like to understand why we think we need another police cruiser from Fort Fairfield.
Have you spoken to the police chief yet?
No.
Okay, you should.
Okay.
That,
We'll discuss it at that agenda item.
Yeah, we will, but any of those questions you can certainly ask.
Okay, but
They-
if
they've
they're
been-
going to be approved tonight, it's hard if we don't have the information.
Right. But the police chief's been in all week, I think.
No, he's on vacation this week.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, he hasn't been in. But the doors are open. The police chief, the city manager, we're all willing to talk about any of this stuff. We don't need to do it here. But either way.
So that's going to include the MMA risk reduction grant too?
Yes. On that item, we'll
So
discuss
we
it at that item.
can't get any answers before this is approved?
You can, anytime. City Hall's open.
Okay, but, okay, at this point, I can't.
I'd say no. We will be discussing it during the meeting, yes.
And it's an application, it's not an acceptance.
Yeah.
Okay,
But thank you.
thank you.
And I certainly don't mean to be sounding harsh, Gene, that's not my prerogative. It's just, City Hall's open and a lot of these questions can be answered before we even get here. So that we can do our meeting.
Warren, wouldn't it make sense to answer those questions for everybody who's in attendance at this point?
We are gonna answer during our meeting. We're gonna be voting on it, and if,
No, this is the public forum.
yes,
If we don't have the information before that,
yes,
it's kind of,
you're right, it is.
Yes, sir.
But the agenda's been posted since last Friday. Nobody's read it. But thank you, and I'm sorry, Gene, again, I'm not trying to pick on you.
Not a problem, I've got a big work.
Okay, thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Bertie Galveston, I live in Eastport. I'd like to say a few words about the voter approval measure that the council lawyers have recommended that the city throw away. The voter approval measure is a sister petition to the AI data center ban. We've watched the data centers all over the country circumvent local bans by rebranding themselves. So sometimes they're calling themselves remote co-location facilities or digital surveillance centers to get around the language of municipal bans. For that reason, the voter approval measure would give Eastport voters the right to approve hyperscale development on our island. We use the largest building here as our litmus test. That's the former cannery building at just under 25,000 square feet. So what the voter approval measure was hoping to do was to give voters the opportunity to accept or deny industrial development that's larger than the biggest building that's already here. I think that's pretty fair, and it gives us cover in case, no matter what a data center wants to call itself next year, the year before, the year after, it means that approval power still stays with the voters. Last week, the city lawyers at Redmond and Winchell published a memorandum giving the council basically a blueprint to toss the voter approval measure on what I think are some pretty flimsy technicalities. They argued that the voter approval petition didn't define the scope of temperature change, which would count as pollution. But on reviewing Eastport's own city codes, Eastport city codes don't define pollution either. So I'm not sure why a citizen's initiative is being scrutinized more than our own lawmakers are. The city attorneys also cited case law for why the petitions should be thrown out, but both cases were situations where an ordinance attempted to either change the threshold for a vote to succeed, that would be Gross v. Town of Bar Harbor, or whether the ordinance specified a vote you must use a secret ballot, but the town conducted a vote in an open meeting. That's Blanchett v. Town of Waldorf. Neither of our voter approval measures want to do any of these things. I don't think they're relevant. Now, under the city charter 2.02C4, the council has the power to amend any public petitions before adding them to the November ballot. City lawyers are paid out of our taxes, and I think they should work for us. Regular people shouldn't need to hire private attorneys to participate in democracy. Citizens' initiatives, it's right in the name, they're supposed to be accessible to regular people. And I think the council should honor the spirit of the petition and the will of the people here. They should have asked our city lawyers to strengthen policies instead of killing it. I hope the council does the right thing. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they do the right thing. I hope they make whatever ministerial changes need to be made, and they move the voter approval measure to November's ballot. But given the council's resistance to the petition from the start, I personally don't believe that will happen. I hope I'm wrong, but in case I'm not, the Petitioners Committee has remedied all of the objections raised in the voter approval measure, and this morning we filed affidavits to repeat the signature gathering process. So this is a wildly popular initiative. We did it before, we'll do it again. So council, do as you will. I hope you guys do the right thing. If you don't, we'll be ready for that. To the community, we need 150 signatures to get this thing on the ballot. If you're interested in signing, find somebody with a blue folder just like this. There's a couple of folks here who have them, and we've got petitions to sign, and we've amended the issues. So thanks, folks, we appreciate it.
Al?
I'll leave the AI to the professionals, so we don't see anything wrong. But I wanted to voice a couple things. The new patrol car that we're getting.
Al, could you please state your name first?
Alan Skinner, 6
Thank you.
Stevens Avenue.
Thank you.
The new patrol car that we're getting, and I have utmost respect for all the police department. I probably have more police in my family than I do than I see in the city. But will this car be traveling 90 miles back and forth to home too, so the citizens are paying for the fuel, the upkeep, the other, as does the chief? Or are we going to do something different with that? Or something just to think about? I look at it and I see all the employees are part-time. Wouldn't it be good to have some full-time employees and give them insurance and benefits and stuff like that? So we have, every time when I talk to somebody, they say they're part-time employees. It would be nice to have some full-time employees, wouldn't it?
We do.
So,
But thank you.
not enough.
Go ahead.
Yes. I asked for the financials the other day, the audit, and asked if they were audited. And I was answered back, they're working on them. Now they got 2024 online, and they're working on 2025. But a lot of people emailed the city asking for the audited financials. They never got a response, yeah?
I'm not aware of that.
Huh?
I'm not aware of that.
The state auditor that lives in Rhinebeck, one of the issues was showing me.
I'm sorry, Alan, I couldn't hear you.
The state auditor that lives across, down the street from me,
Mm-hmm.
she was showing me how many emails and stuff, and I know I have in the past.
So I haven't received, as you stated, the 2024 audit, and I'm sorry, I tried, is online.
Now we can try
2025
it.
Well, yeah, it was given to us a month ago.
A month ago.
We're doing the best we can, Alan.
And
The auditor's behind. We have the 2025 audit underway right now. We're getting it out as fast as we can. It's online. We can provide you 2024. I hope to have 2025. It's on the auditor's schedule, but we paid quite a bit for it. I hope to see it I'd like to see it by December. But it's in their hands.
And I see the taxes went up and everybody feels it, and the sewers are going up also. Is the service going to be better, or is it just costing more for everything? That's what.
Everything's costing more for everything.
And the reason that, it's more for everything, but the reason I say that, the houses that I build are 1,200 square foot. When they get assessed right after they're finished, and even the ones that I rebuilt, but these 1,200 square foot houses, they're getting assessed for about 3,800 in taxes for the 1,200 square foot house. But then I see the commercial building that sold for $799 on Water Street with a view, and they're paying $3,300, and it's been going on forever. So it's kind of a misbalance. There's a lot of money out there that should be collected, and it should all be even. So it's good for the taxpayers. That's a lot of money just sitting out there every year that's not getting collected. You know what I mean? Even on the houses sold.
Mr. Council President, we've talked about this before. I feel some impulse to help explain because I think he's making a good point. I typically try to avoid making sure we don't turn this into a debate.
Yeah.
If I may, I'll just give some information here, and if we need to go deeper, can we speak offline? Quickly, we are in desperate need of a revaluation. Part of what you're talking about is having to recalculate the factors that go into assessment. I know you've sat with Wes for many, many hours.
Yeah.
So you put in a bunch of stuff, you get a number at the end.
Yeah.
So we have, now that we've completed the taxation process, Wes has the post-tax process of dealing with people now. That is our next priority, is to move forward on a reevaluation. Realistically, 1 to 2 years just to be able to get someone started, because there's so few people who are doing it and who will do it out here. But we've accumulated some things, we're hoping to move forward. But I'm not going to speak to any particular property versus another, but the general sense that things might be out of whack, that's why we do the reevaluation.
But when a house sells or is fixed up like Washington Street, that was $1,800 a year on that house for 15 years.
So we can discuss this offline. At this point, we'd have to look at the individual property and see what happens. So I'll pull back.
But supposedly you could look at the listings, what they sold for, and go from there, and all he has to do is push the buttons. That's what he told me, that's why he does all mine, you know what I mean? So,
again, if we want to talk, at this point, I'm not going to get into between
yeah,
you and us.
I don't
We
want
need
to
to
get
talk
into
argument.
argument, but like I say, it's a lot of lost money. So. All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
Alan, thank you for your comments. Anyone else from the audience? Okay, yep. Good evening.
Lori Stone, I just have a quick one. When I was on the disability committee, our one thing that we really tried to get through was the crosswalks, and we're about to get thousands of people who aren't familiar with our city. There's no crosswalks. I wondered if you could, I understand how he answers to Brian, so I wondered if Brian could.
We have been working on the crosswalks on Water Street. We've been staying off the crosswalks on Washington Street because both of those ADA ramps are being rebuilt as part of the sidewalk project. We didn't see any point. It may sound silly, but the reflective paint we use for that stuff is expensive. It's over $100 a gallon. So we were saying, and we had typically in the past painted them right before school. So we are hoping we're going to be painting them right before school now when we get those two rebuilt. But that's why we haven't gone
That's good, I
forward.
wondered about the one, because that's a biggie by the post office.
Yeah, the one by the
Walk
post
around
office
and they're not gonna-
and the one on High Street are both being rebuilt by the state. And they should have done it when they rebuilt Washington Street, but essentially they said, oh, they have a sidewalk ramp going, we're running late, we'll just lump it into that. And that's why it's being done now.
Okay. And the other thing is I know you're on our side about the data center. I get that. But the next time you talk to our lawyers, you could ask, instead of saying what's wrong with the petition, you could say, how do we fix it? You know, they could give us professional, you know, instead of us having to try to do it. That would be great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, John, I'll allow it. We gotta wrap it up here and get going. Please.
The chair will cooperate with me. I didn't expect that I would be adding this, so I apologize in advance. Having served on the same disability committee, it was our determination in 2024 that the best time to be painting crosswalks was at the end of May, not at the end of September. The reason being is that when you paint them in September, snow flies in October, and the snow and the sand fades those things out, so they're not there for the summertime and for the tourist season. It would be within the city's best interest to be painting them at the beginning of May, just for people's safety as well as getting the best bang for your buck.
Very good point. Thank you. Anybody else from the audience? Seeing none, I'll close public open forum. Item 5 is action on the public hearings.
So the ye old hookers with this, it looks like it's all internal.
Oh, yes, it's not any external stuff we talked about before. They're just reconfiguring their internal space to be more of a restaurant.
Would that reduce their need to go out into the
That I
road?
can't speak to.
Doubtful.
Make a motion, we approve both ordinances.
No,
What?
3A and 3B.
liquor
Okay.
license application.
Yes, that.
3A and 3B.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve both of the public hearings. A being the amendment to the liquor license for Ye Olde Hookers. B being the renewal of the liquor license for Horn Run Brewing. Any further discussion on the motion? Seeing none, roll call please, Sarah.
Is there a date for the public hearing?
No, we're approving
I think they're
the public hearing we had.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seeley?
Yes.
Counselor Booth?
Yes. Item 6, new business. Consider a temporary, 6A, consider a temporary moratorium on data centers and associated infrastructures. That was brought forth by Councilor Ray, and I appreciate all the work she's put into this. She's done much more than I. But thank you, Karen.
So in your packets, you had a draft, and then this evening I gave you an additional draft. So let's talk about the one I gave you tonight.
Fine.
The only change between what was in your packet and what is before us is section 2, the duration. Because of the process that we're in and the potential to have to amend what the petitioners committee did to make it stronger. Originally, this said 1, 2, or 3, the duration, and I just combined it. So it's now the duration is completion of the citizen initiative review process and adoption of permanent ordinance amendments addressing the matters, or 180 days from the date of adoption. So that's the only change from what you had in your packet. And I would make a motion that we approve, and I would be happy to speak to my motion.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion?
The only thing I want to add to this is in no way, in no means, is meant to be a replacement for the potential ban. This is a tool in our toolbox. This is a way to protect us if the process takes longer, because we are going to have to, it is a longer process, because we are going to, hopefully, one member of the board is going to work to make it stronger.
I would agree with that statement, Karen, and I'm not sure, and I'm not going to try to remember, because some of those things just don't happen anymore. One key thing that I feel sometimes here is there's no enemies in this room. We're all into this together. We all want the same results. We don't want the AI. We don't want the data center. We all want the same thing. So we need to just work together, and we can accomplish that. And like Karen has said, make it stronger, make it more effective. That's all we're asking. So that's my 2 cents. Any further discussion on the motion?
I have a question.
We have a motion.
Oh, never mind.
Thank you, though. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Counselor
Sarah?
Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seeley?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. 6B, Councilor Seeley's departure from council.
Yes.
Let's not do that.
As all of you guys know, I am leaving for a military deployment, so I am going to resign effective September 30th. Future date. I won't be able to attend any October meetings, so I figured September 30th is probably the best time. And that'll give you guys plenty of time to put it on the ballot for the remainder of the term.
Yeah, so our reading of the charter, as long as you accept it tonight, that gives us plenty of time in advance of the election to put the remainder of his term on the ballot, reading this as the occurrence of the vacancy. It's a future date that he'll be gone, but this way we know that that's what's happening. This allows you to keep the amount of time that the seat is left open at a minimum while meeting the charter requirements to be able to put it on the ballot. That way you have enough time to act on it. Technically, you should probably look into appointing someone for the month of October. If you do not, you would actually be required to hold a special election in December to cover the month of October. In other words, it would be a meaningless special election. So you would have to wait to December to do it.
It would effectively be for October, November, and December, since new terms would be effective on January 1st.
No, he'd be filling an empty term,
Right.
which would be effective the day after the election. His seat would be go up for election for filling the remainder of his term on the general election. So
the person who
So
voted
he could
for
be-
his
that
seat
person
would
could
be
be
sworn
sworn
in November.
could be sworn in.
rather
That's
than
my
January.
understanding. Could be sworn in November because he's leaving the same way Karen left and was appointed in the position to begin with. I mean, if there's a concern about this process, we can raise it, but look, the charter did not anticipate a situation where you would have a resignation that would be provided at a future date. It is a legal thing to do. Adrian and I have spoken about this and tried to have a way that he can serve as much of his term as possible while still providing the people the opportunity to fill the remainder of the term. The other option is to not accept the resignation now, to allow him to make the resignation on September 30th, at which point he
then
would
we
not be
can't
able to
put it on
go
the
on,
ballot.
it would not go on the ballot, you would have to appoint someone for the remainder of his term.
So our only question is what is our question, whether or not someone is sworn in?
I am calling this well, there are two things. I'm sorry, I did not think there was any question about when you filled, we've seen a couple of these when a seat goes empty and someone's in there, they're appointed to the empty seat. It doesn't wait until January. The question is, I am putting some weight on the term occurrence here, which the charter does not define, to call the occurrence today. The occurrence has to occur at least, is it 45? I've got ordinance timelines in my head now. So either 45 or 60 days. I believe it's 45 before the election, but maybe 60. To be able to put it on the ballot. That's why it's important that we accept it and call it the occurrence tonight. It has been, council has expressed the concern, in previous absences, they would like it to go to ballot rather than be asked to apply. So that's my read right now. If someone objects to it, you may take your own path.
So we just need a motion to accept?
I would say
A motion to
motion
accept his resignation effective September 30th.
Is that a
I make that
motion?
motion.
I second it.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Councilor Seeley, I will miss serving with you. It's been a pleasure, AJ. Never easy to say goodbye, but
He'll be here next month.
I know, but I mean, it's a permanent thing, and I do wish you well. Yeah, I'm sure you'll be reading Party Tides and keeping up as much as you can on it.
Or Facebook.
Yeah, but thank you for your service.
Thanks.
Any further discussions on the motion? Hearing none, roll call please, Sarah.
Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seeley?
I can't really vote
Abstain.
on that, I abstain.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. 6C, hold September 9th, 2026 City Council meeting at Shed High School Gymnasium.
I make the motion to hold the September 9th City Council meeting at the Shed High Gymnasium.
Second.
Moved in. Any further discussion on the motion?
Why is the planning board will make their presentation to us and we'll be having the conversation about the ordinances? So we assume it'll be a large crowd.
Roll call please, Sarah.
Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seeley?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. We're going to get a lot more meetings in before the 30th, I guess. 6D, appointment of Rita Harmon as deputy tax collector.
We just need to have a deputy. We ran into this when Ella went down. You need a deputy in place or else you have to go through a whole thing.
And there was something she had to be employed
I
for
had
so
to be
much
named
longer.
in and you had to do a whole thing. We couldn't, there was something I got out of that.
Time frame.
Yeah.
Make the motion to accept Rita Hartman as the deputy tax collector.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call please, Sarah.
Counselor Dana Cummings? Yes. Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seeley?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. 6E, Paul Terrell, 7/30/2026, resignation from the school committee.
I vote to accept Paul Terrio's resignation from the school committee.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion?
When do we have the conversation about replacing him?
So, as opposed to the council, where we have all sorts of deadlines that we just negotiated here, the charter is quite lax about what happens with a school committee member. You have the power, which I guess is a little unusual, but
Power
the
or
council
responsibility?
has the power/responsibility to name someone to the remainder of the seat. The seat does go up in the next election. So, unless you've got someone you're considering right now.
So we
There are
should
no
ask-
deadlines, there are no requirements, it just says you will
So
name.
should we be asking for people to submit their letter of interest?
I would point out that the school board itself has not had a regular meeting since his resignation. So my guess
But they're
is
having one soon.
that they're having one tomorrow. And my guess is the school board will come forward with a recommendation. Not that we have to listen to it, but that's probably what they will do. Having spoken to a school board member today.
I would still ask for letters of recommendation, letters of interest.
My apologies.
So, motion is to accept the resignation. I guess we can discuss the filling of that seat when the time comes. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call please, Sarah.
Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seeley?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. 6F, accept membership of Greg Gordon to the Airport Advisory Committee.
Is this a request of the advisory committee that he be joined?
Yes.
Both of them are.
Absolutely. for both.
Both.
Okay. I move to accept the membership of Greg Gordon to the Airport Advisory Committee.
A second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, please, Sarah.
Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seely?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. 6G, accept membership of Jeremy Cooper to the Airport Advisory Committee.
I move to accept the membership of Jeremy Cooper to the Airport Advisory Committee.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, please, Sarah.
Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seely?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. 6H, acceptance of an FAA grant EPM-EG-3-23-027-026 in the amount of $185,062 for the purchase of a snow removal equipment for the airport, requiring a $4,870 in local match.
This and the next motion are for equipment that we discussed during the budget committee process and about the match that would be going to there. I'm not sure if we've done the application approval, whatever process. So I want to make sure, there was some question about whether I actually had to bring it to you based on that. So I brought it to you anyway. So these are, both of these were anticipated in the budget. It's slightly higher than the AIT match that we have in there, but we talked about potentially drawing on fuel funds if that was a concern.
So that will be covered from
Right.
the airport budget.
Right. And if people want more discussion about what the equipment is like, I'll defer, maybe we can defer to Victoria, but ultimately it's a great big piece of equipment plus a snow plow plus a brush, right?
It's a loader.
Loader.
It's a front loader. It's a loader that's
It's
going
this
to have
thing,
a
isn't
brush
it?
with it. Yeah, the case.
There you go, that's one.
621G. It's a huge loader that's going to have a brush and also a snow blower attachment. It comes with a bucket. We'll just park that. But that will make quick work of cleaning that runway in the wintertime. And when we have slush and ice on the runway, hopefully the brush will be able to get that off and or the snow blower before it has the opportunity to freeze and just shut our runway down completely. So that's why we purchased it.
And I believe the reason it's in two pieces, essentially, we had some money and then we went and had some other money and put it all together, but it came through just two different lines at FAA. So both of these together cover the whole thing.
And they have already been awarded, we just need to accept them.
Correct.
Correct.
Can I make a motion that we accept items 6H and I as printed,
I'll second that.
so that Billy doesn't have to read those numbers?
Well, is just in a continuation of it, but it is a separate part there that Clyde needs to be dead, but he's all right. Any further discussion on the motion? It's $335,000 for the airport for a cost of $10,000 to the taxpayer. That's a pretty good turn on $10,000.
It's more than that, it's 450 plus thousand.
No, 150 and 185.
335.
That's what I thought.
I thought it's 259 and 194.
No, the motion, yeah. 185 and 150. Either way. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call please, Sarah.
Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seely?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. 6J, acceptance of the community impact grant of $10,000 for the Eastport Community Window Dressers build.
Actually, J and K would probably be considered.
Yeah, I think they should.
This is the window dressers program that Victoria spoke about in the open forum. It's a reduced amount of funding, but it's what we've got, and there is no local match.
Person Power has put $5,000 toward that project, so the motion should be for 6J and K.
Make a motion that we pass items 6J and K.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call please, Sarah.
Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seely?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. Item 6 L, approval of application for MMA risk reduction grant by police department, $5,000 total for upgrading PD technology.
So this is a request for an application. We have not made the application, it has not been submitted, we actually haven't started writing it yet. But this is part of what I've been speaking about in general. Hopefully, when we do grants, we'll ask you in advance so you're not surprised, and then we ask when you accept. This is a standard MMA grant. What we are talking about doing with it right now is upgrading the cameras that are currently in use for the police department. I don't have a lot of detail, we're still putting it together, and you'll get
Cameras at the PD
at
or
the,
in the...
at the PD that we have. So we have cameras that look out onto Water Street and into our parking lot and at the window at City Hall. We're also going to see if we can get money in there. There's been some requests for body cams on the police. And we're looking into what that's maybe. So we're not entirely sure exactly what we're spending, but you would be notified of that when the time came.
And there's no match required for this one?
There's not.
Okay. I make a motion that we approve the application for the MMA risk reduction grant.
Just a point of order, I don't think I heard it correctly. Is that MMA or is that EMMA?
No, MMA, Maine Municipal Association.
Okay, thank you.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion?
No one else has questions?
No, the council needs to ask the questions. We got a motion on the table. Sarah, roll call, please.
Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seely?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. 6M, approval of application for Housing Community Program Ordinance Amendment Grant, $7,500 total.
This is a state program. Some of you may be aware the state has been making a great number of changes and requirements on land use ordinances related to the housing crisis. They've made them, they've changed them, they made them again. And all of them demand that you alter your ordinances. We have had neither the time nor the effort to put that together, and they all require legal review. Happily, there is a program, this one, that we can apply to give us money to go through and do all of our revisions. The majority of this will go to our lawyers, to Redmond Winchell, to go through and just make sure that all of our ordinances are in compliance. They won't be. There will be amendments that will have to come forward.
And again, this is an application.
This is an application that's not been accepted, and there's no local match.
I move to approve the application for the Housing Opportunity Program Ordinance Amendment Grant.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, please, Sarah.
Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seely?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. 6N, approval of contract adjustment for seawall engineering for sidewalk project.
So I'm not super happy about this one, but I'm not sure we have anything to do. The sidewalk project is well underway. It has been a bumpy ride. Those of you who may have noticed it, you'll notice the part, boy, we're digging a 10-foot trench to put in a sidewalk. Well, that's how you put in a sidewalk properly, apparently, I've learned. We put in drainage. There's quite a bit of drainage, and then there's stone on top before you put the dirt on, and you go through all of that. We've had quite a run of pipes getting broken and some other things, and I've got some issues with that. This, however, is about whenever Sewell put their initial estimate together, they estimated a construction timeline that's about half what it actually is going to turn out to be. Sewell provides the clerk of the works, who is a guy that walks back and forth, protects our interests, makes sure the contractor is doing things correctly. They had initially bid $45,000 give or take a few bucks, for that position. They now need twice that. Because
they started late?
Well, it's a combination. No, it's not that they started late. Honestly, there's an estimate in the bid package. It says this long. EMX says, no, it's going to take this long. And to be fair, at this point, given what they're running into, they hit ledge yesterday. That we're going to be dealing with. It's frustrating. I inherited this project. The bid documents were done already. The estimates were there. We could not pay for it, in which case someone, like me, would have to go do it instead, because this is a local project administered project. So we are technically, the city is responsible for administering it. We have handed those responsibilities in our plan to Sewell. I will say the guy who's down there looking out for us is a great guy. I have no problem paying this amount for the quality of what we're getting. I believe, and this is a belief, I am concerned about cost overruns on this project. I believe this amount brings us right to, based on what we had for the construction, brings us right to the amount we thought we were going to be spending on the grant. So of this additional 45, we're paying 20%, about $8,000, $9,000. However, this is a project that once you hit the grant amount and you construct it there, you owe every dollar on top of that. So we have about $120,000, we have $120 set aside in our capital fund, which is actually more than we need for our local match by about $25,000. I will be keeping a very close eye on this, but we've accepted the project, it's underway, and although I'm not happy with this kind of change, short of being willing to hire our own person to do this work, because this is federal money coming through the state, this is a project requirement. I see no option, but we have to accept it. I'm not real happy.
Well, dang.
Yeah. You're usually the one who does things wrong.
I'm really hating this sidewalk project. I hope it's beautiful when it's done.
I hope it's done.
I hope it's done before you get home. So we are making a motion
To accept the contract adjustment.
to accept the contract adjustment for the civil engineering for the sidewalk project.
Correct.
Oh, second?
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call please, Sarah.
Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Well, yeah.
Counselor Seeley?
Yep.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. 6-0, approval of rate for part-time police and for festivals and selected holidays.
Yeah, this is a request from the police department to approve time and a half, which would be $32.50 an hour instead of the current $25 an hour, for part-time police that we're trying to pull to the 4th of July, specifically July 3rd and 4th, the Pirate Festival, Thanksgiving and Christmas. These are days we have traditionally had trouble managing coverage. And while we had enough coverage on July 4th was entertaining enough that night that we had a couple of people say essentially, it's not worth it to come out for this. So this is a request from the police. It's a risk, but we'll see if it works. We'd like to think that, my understanding is that we've already kind of put out the work. We think we might be able to do this for Pirate Festival and are getting better response. But
And how's it going to affect their overall budget?
they say they can manage this within the budget. It's not, so it's an additional $12.50 an hour for, I have to go do the hours off my head. But we're looking at, less than $1,000 altogether, or maybe right around $1,000 if I do this right, an additional cost.
But it's within their budget.
We're going to stay within the budget. We have a very large part-time line in the budget. Maybe this is a good time for me to address Alan's point about full-time police, but I'd like to go there. During open forum, Alan Skinner made wouldn't it be great to have more full-time police? I wholeheartedly agree. When I started here, we had no full-time police and only 2 part-timers that were regularly on there, basically there for administration. As we've been building the police department back, we had police in 2 part and 2 full-time positions that we could fill. The first year and a half, 2 years, we could not keep those positions filled. It was really very, very difficult. And so we moved about this time last year, I think, to say, we have a lot of people who are expressing interest to come down in Eastport to work part-time. Can we actually make that work? We are budgeted at about 2/3 coverage. In other words, the amount of money we have in the budget for personnel covers us about for 2/3 of 24/7. We're covering 95% of our calls at that level of coverage, so I'm pretty proud of what we're doing. Having said that, would we like to have another full-time policeman? Would we like to offer benefits? We would. We're not budgeted for that right now. We are doing we're looking at some possible grant opportunities.
And that comes with a price to the tax
I don't want to
dollars.
go on too far right now, but yes, we could certainly, and round numbers, I want to be as transparent as possible about this. Round numbers, a full-time employee, just off the top of my head, I'd say $100,000, because when you take When you take what they're being paid, plus their benefits, plus everything else, it might be, depending on who it is, 80, it might be a little bit more, but it's a chunk out of $100,000. So that's, right now, your taxation is at about 4.2 million, I want to say, if I looked at, let's say 4 million for round numbers. That's 2% of taxation, okay, to add another employee.
But you get rid of the part-time.
You get rid of most, yeah, that's correct. You get, I'm sorry, I took my glasses off and now I can't see now. It's on there. Correct. And so this is worth talking about at Budget Committee. So I just want to acknowledge that we're considering that. In the short term, we're running with part-timers.
If you can find a full-timer.
Yeah. We have some hope that things are stable enough here that we might be a more attractive destination than we were.
PDs just train people.
But the market of police is still still very difficult. So I even if that was one of the issues, that there was a line in the budget that kept being not filled. And it's like, well, why are we taxing for this? Well, now what we tax for, we will be spending.
Make a motion, we approve 6A as presented.
I'll second that.
6-0, not 6A.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call please, Sarah.
Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seeley?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. 6P, approval of purchase of used police cruiser from Fort Fairfield.
Yes, so we have in our cruiser fleet right now, we have one vehicle we bought new,
That's Tahoe.
the Tahoe. The one vehicle we bought, and I'm sorry, I do not have all the years in my head right now. I apologize for that. I should have looked that up there. We have the one that we bought from Washburn that was 3 or 4 years old at the time we bought it. We have our hybrid vehicle, the white hybrid vehicle, which has just come out of warranty, which you may not have, but we've had some issues with that vehicle, and right now we have to take it to Hamden if we get a check engine light because of the nature of the electronics on that vehicle, and the black vehicle. Because of the relative age of the vehicles, I had intended to put a brand new vehicle in the fiscal year 28 capital plan. Brand new, and we were probably going to look at Tahoes again. Right now, those appear to be the Crown Vics of the 2020s. When we bought our previous one, it came in at about $54,000, so I'm imagining that's going to go
Without
up.
outfitting.
Without outfitting, plus it costs us $10,000 to $12,000 to outfit it, to put in the cage, to put in everything else. So when Fairfield offered us this vehicle, it's old, it's a 1990, it's got 95,000 miles.
90?
Yep. Yeah, just like our hybrid. I'm sorry,
No,
1990.
no.
It's like, Joe, I moved my vote. Holy moly.
I don't know what I said. I don't know why that came out of my mouth. 2020. 2020. Good God. Wow. The 2020.
Sorry, Brian.
2020. No, that was good. Bad, because if you didn't catch it, it showed up in the paper. I said, 2020, 90,000 miles on it, $22,000. Outfitting would usually run 10 to 12. The vehicle itself is worth between 22 and 26, according to the Blue.
And it's in good condition?
It's in good condition. We know a guy who knows a guy who's using it right now, and we feel pretty confident. And our experience has been dealing with other departments that they're not interested in, giving us trouble for, the ACO vehicle we got from Pleasant Point's giving us time. So this means I push off a brand new vehicle into fiscal year 29.
At least.
I will just acknowledge, we're doing a bit of a Washington County thing here. We're picking up a bunch of older vehicles and hoping they'll hold us together. This vehicle will stay in town. It's going to be the number one additional patrol vehicle. It's there if the hybrid, sorry, I've got, if the hybrid's battery fails, I know we're colorful way of saying that, but if that battery fails, we could be looking at a five-figure repair bill. That sort of thing. So I just feel more comfortable having that additional vehicle. It's a bargain for a police vehicle. It really is. It's a little bit of risk, as with any used car, but I think altogether it's not much. And I would ask you that you approve to take this out of capital.
It's 30 years newer.
Yeah, just in the time I've been talking about it. Wow.
I move to approve the purchase of the used police cruiser from Fort Fairfield and take it over the capital funds.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call please, Sarah.
Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seely?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. 6Q, accept donation from Sheep Cove Associates for Skyhope,
Tom, Ray, do we have an amount on that?
500.
Is that the
It was
one?
500? It was 500. Oh, it's in the packet, thank you. Yes.
I thought that was for the airport, not for Skyhook.
That's what it says here. I think it says,
TVs and support systems for the airport.
That's for the airport, it's not Skyhook, it's airport. They're making
Okay.
a donation.
It has it on the memo.
And it's donated to the city. Okay,
How did that get in there?
Modify your motion.
How did that
We
get
will
in
check-
there?
We will check with the donor and make sure that we have, if for some reason it's wrong, we'll correct.
I believe you're correct.
Oh, it's on the check.
Yeah, okay.
I move to accept the donation from Sheep Cove Associates for the airport for TVs and support systems of $500.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Only thank you. Roll call, please, Sarah.
Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes, with appreciation.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seely?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. 6R, accept perpetual care request by Judy Trott for Hillside West Cemetery Section Memorial Hill, Lot 143A.
I move to accept the perpetual care lot.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, please, Sarah.
Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seely?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. 6S, accept perpetual care request by Stephen and Susan Moore for Bayside West Cemetery, Section E, Lot 24 and 25.
Make that motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please. Sarah?
Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seely?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. 6T, accept the resignation of Victoria Gans from the
Energy Committee.
And also the airport committee. She just came up and told me she actually needs to resign from both.
I move to accept the resignation of Victoria Gans from the Energy Committee and Airport Committee.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion?
I have to.
Hearing none, roll call, please, Sarah.
Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor
Sorry.
Seely?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Listen
Yes.
to your conversation.
We are on number 7, old business. 7A is a request for placement of a memorial bench from Mary Gelada in memory of Grace Zawerneman.
I'm going to ask you to carry this one more meeting. I think we've identified the bench, I think we've identified the location, but I need to speak with Howie and confirm it all. We should be able to act on this next meeting, so you can just carry that to that.
I move to table.
Can we carry it to a future meeting, so if it doesn't happen next meeting?
Since it's going to be coming close to winter anyways, we probably wouldn't place it until spring, so I think October will be fine.
October or September?
Well, no, I was just saying,
Oh.
I don't care what meeting, but I think the motion should just be to a future meeting,
Okay.
so that if you don't have it next meeting, we don't have to discuss it.
That works for me.
But then you lose track of it.
Tara's on it now, so I won't have a problem with that, yeah.
So who has the motion?
Move to a future meeting.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, please, Sarah.
Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seely?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. 7B, transfer of fiscal year 2026 boat excise tax to the harbor account.
Is that what this paper is?
Yes.
So, yes, here's what happened. So this came up last month, and then we all kind of looked at each other and said, wait, what is this? So my understanding, correct me if I've got this wrong, Tom, right? In the past, there used to be a separate harbor bank account into which boat excise used to be accepted, and then you would transfer that, or we kept in ours, it was transferred to there. That's not true anymore. We just keep it separate in our accounting system, and it's automatically credited to the harbor account as it's collected. So what you see before you is just proof that we've been collecting all of this, if you're curious, and there's no action to be taken. So we will not break it, just it happened to be on last year's agenda, unless you know differently, but that's our understanding.
So we don't need
So
any
we're
action.
just here to talk about it?
Your council is required to transfer funds from fund to fund, right? So if I said, like we did last year, please transfer X amount from unassigned to capital, you have to do that. It's not, doesn't need to be transferred because it's being credited to the right account from the beginning. So there's no action.
Nothing
No
to do.
action. Yeah, moving on.
We're on item 8. 8A, minutes of previous meetings, July 8, 2026, regular council meeting.
I move to accept those minutes.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call please, Sarah.
Councilor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Councilor Ray?
Yes.
Councilor Stevens?
Yes.
Councilor Seeley?
Yes.
Councilor Boone?
Yes. Item 9, city manager's report.
So let's start with financials. You've got two financials. Both we have the details that you have from Trio, but I gave you my summaries for fiscal year 26 and 27. I'll keep giving you 26 probably one more month, and I think we'll have everything that should be credited there out. The top line number is after 100% of fiscal year 26, our net is 94.6. We're under. Now, there are a couple of items I'm going to clear up here. I think we're actually in better shape than that for 26, but worse for 27. Our insurance number is very high, and I think that's because we credited a fiscal year 27 payment there, but I'll clarify that with Rita. Otherwise, I don't think anything has changed here from before. I discussed these overages and everything, and we were up and we were down many times. The fiscal year 27 one is less interesting because we're only 9% of the way through the year. I'll just point out right now payroll is ahead for two reasons. Tomorrow is payday, so we're always right at the beginning of the pay cycle. And all the July 4th overtime and extra expense is being reflected there right now. So that should even out as time goes on. ACO is high because we paid the pause lease. Hydrant is high because I think we just received the second billing for the year. We paid July at the beginning of July, we paid August at the beginning of August. Otherwise, we are currently in pretty good shape. This is maybe a good point just to acknowledge, yes, indeed, tax bills went out. We came in at about 7.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even mean to tell you. We ended up coming in at about 7.8%. We had accepted an expenses at 7.25, but business equipment valuation goes down. And we can sit down with Wes and talk about that, but that's part of what happens there is it's depreciation. It is, however, also the one place I have spoken in this meeting before about how doing a revaluation doesn't help you with the homestead exemption from the point of view of revenue. Everyone's homestead exemption goes up, and everyone's house value also goes up, and so that value of 25% doesn't change. It does have an impact on personal property, on the business equipment, because business equipment isn't increasing the way real estate is. So this is another reason. So we are losing money on personal property tax, and that's why I've asked Wes to make it a priority. It is possible, we will discuss, it is possible for the council to simply basically across the board say, hey, we're currently, our ratio right now is 47%. The state says the numbers on our books for our values are less than half of what they're probably worth in the market. You guys, I'll talk with Wes, but you guys essentially could say, nope, we're going to change our factors. That brings us up to 80%. That would help us. The only concern is, as Alan raised before there, if there are inequities now, if relative values of property have changed, you're not doing anything about that. All you're doing is just raising everyone up, and people's valuations may look a little off. So we'll talk about how to address that. But we are already seeing that the Eastport taxpayers are great. We're already seeing significant, just in the last few days, people are paying their taxes right away. Thank you very much. I have good news and bad news on real estate. The good news is we are just officially listing our 4 foreclosed properties and the Senior Citizens Center. They actually haven't the website or anything, but the butters have been notified, and Mike McPhee is talking to people. We are collecting offers very quickly. I just want to say you can set it tonight or we can discuss it later, but I don't think we should wait until the next meeting to act on some of these offers. These are people are making cash offers on a building with a quick lane. Waiting an entire month might not be the best idea, but I do think 2 weeks is reasonable. And I was going to suggest we hold a special meeting in 2 weeks to look at the offers and accept those we wish to accept.
Where is that printed? What houses are?
Mike McPhee is our, so Mike McPhee with Due East Real Estate is the city's realtor. You can contact him.
Okay.
Are they listed on, are they listed?
He's listing them now. They just got listed this week.
Aren't they on the city website?
Not on the city website. We're listing it through him.
But you already have offers.
We already have offers, but we're not gonna act until next week, until 2 weeks from now. So go take a look.
He's contacted the budding property owners,
Yeah.
but you have to list it and you have to accept all offers.
But how do you have an offer before it's listed? That's what I don't understand.
Well, he's listed them, he hasn't put it on the website, he's already
As
listed
soon as
it.
as soon as we appointed Mike at the last meeting, he started receiving calls.
Right.
How do people know that what they were?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
How do people know what they're worth?
You'll see on the listing.
The tax
Yeah, Just like any
information.
other listing, you'll see what it's at, what we put as a value. I want to briefly address crosswalks again since it came up before. I just want to reiterate, I take John's point about why it might make sense in May. We have traditionally painted them in September, actually usually in August, because it's the beginning of school. The primary concern is that if you're having kids back in town, they're not always all the way down here, I grant you, but up there. That's what we've done. I'm not saying we have to do that in the future. Arguably, we should probably do it twice a year. We'll talk about that in Budget Committee, because that's another few $1,000s in paint time. But we're not leaving them alone because we don't like them down there. And we were putting off painting all of them, and then I did ask that we paint the ones on Water Street, the small ones along the west side. And that, I haven't looked and see how far we got with that, I don't know if they're all done yet or not, but I know they were working on them last week. And I think that's everything I need to cover with you guys. That's everything I
So do we get a date for a meeting?
So
Yeah,
2 weeks from
maybe
today
one-
is the 26th.
The 26th, if you want to set August 26th as a meeting date.
City Hall?
Well,
No, we should do it here.
we should probably do it here. Yeah, we'll see if we, so for now, if maybe just a motion to set a special meeting for August 26th. And your call, what time of day, and then we'll double check if the building's available. And if that's a problem,
Aye. You guys can start without me.
At what time?
5, I would say. I mean, that's the best
One
I
to
can get
5.
there. Huh?
5 or 6.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think it'd be that long, so 5 would be all right with me.
Check if the building's available.
Don't check with the mortgage, you don't know.
I'll let her know you said that.
Okay, you can.
Is everyone available on the 26th? You're still
I
here.
am.
Lucky you.
Still here.
I am.
Yep.
Sure, if I'm gonna be back, but you guys, there's 4 here, you should
We
be
have
able to
4
make
of
a
us.
decision.
You available at 5?
Yeah.
Karen,
Yeah.
5? I make a motion to, schedule a special meeting for Wednesday, August 26th, here at the Port Building. No.
No. No, we can do it.
What dates are available?
Do it Thursday or Tuesday or...
we could potentially move it to the airport building.
Yeah.
It's a little noisy in there, it's a little difficult, but that's really the only other building we have available to us. City Hall is not ideal.
I mean, we can change the date. I mean, we could do it Thursday or Tuesday.
Bring chairs.
What?
Bring chairs, bring folding chairs.
Right, of course.
Do Tuesday.
We'll just stand.
Is it available the Tuesday or the Thursday around it?
And if the answer is no, we're gonna just have to take this offline, I think.
Well,
Thursday is open, the 27th.
go with it. Go with it.
Karen?
Yep, I'm good.
27th?
Yeah.
Karen, you're good?
Yep.
Yeah, Colleen will be back by then.
Colleen's excuse just went away.
So make a motion to schedule a special meeting for Thursday, August 27th at the Port Authority at 5 PM.
But
Oh, a second?
been moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, please, Sarah.
Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seeley?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Yes.
We're locked in.
Okay. Item 10, council liaison updates and issues.
I have some issues with the ambulance I need to bring up with the ambulance committee. We lost a driver here, which puts us in situations, there are some situations with the vehicles out there. One of them isn't even registered. Not good.
Okay,
So we
you and
have
I
some-
need to meet.
Yes.
Okay.
Indeed.
Thank you, Ms. Stevens.
When is do you know when the next actual board meeting is of the ambulance?
Last Monday in September.
Okay.
So I'll message you and see if we can get together, because I have a whole list of things.
All right.
Any other? Good. Last month, I forgot to mention how well the airport's been doing. Under Victoria, she's been doing a great job out there. Thank you. Not always easy picking up a new task and trying to learn everything all at once. And the airport has been doing very well. In the summer months, we normally do much better anyway, with fuel sales and all kinds of, a lot more activity in the summertime out there. So I certainly did not do that on purpose last month. Ignore that. And the Airport Association and the Airport Advisory Committee have been working a lot on the lease agreements between the legacy holders. Last night we had a meeting. I thought it went very well. It passed narrowly. 3-2-1 was the vote.
312.
No.
Yes,
We got an
say.
email.
Oh, okay, yeah. 3-1-2. Either way, it passed 3. I see it as two committees that were strained before, starting to mend their ways and coming together. I'd like to see that continue. And I think in the overall scope of things, we're just trying to be fair to everyone. We're not singling out anybody. We're not new lease hangar owners and legacy owners each have their own rights and their own makeups and their own things. We just all need to be together on the same page. There was basically 2 corrections in the lease that was drawn up, very minor, but definitely need the legal opinion, just to have them review it. But I think we should go forward with it, and that's only for council's update, because I'm sure it will be coming probably in the next month's meeting or October. But I'd like to see it sooner than later. We've been going since May on it, so it's been trickling down. So hopefully we can get there. And Senior Center, I attended that one yesterday. They're doing extremely well out there. They're looking for a volunteer to do line dancing, and I did not do that.
To do it or to teach it?
To teach it and do it. That's not my thing. But
Barbara School of Dance, she taught us.
But if you have a chance to get into the building, they have a calendar right at the top of the stairs. It is full every day. Every day there's activities going on up there. The cardio drumming, the exercise classes, the dinners, every day. And they're already talking Halloween party and Christmas party. So it's
never too early.
It's quickly evolving. The pool group has been doing well downstairs. I think this week they're starting a tournament. I think it's this Thursday. And I'd say probably on a Thursday evening, you got 15, 20 people playing pool now. So if we can get the kids more involved, that's what their hope is, to try to get more kids out there. But it's a great resource, and people are using it, and that was the whole intent when we started it. So I'm glad to see that's coming along. Okay, and I guess I'm done with my updates. We are on item 11. I need a motion to enter into executive session.
I'm sorry, we didn't get the X's in there. I need A&E, personnel and
Whoops.
legal consultation.
Make a motion to enter into executive session, personal matters, Title I, MRSA 4056A, and consultation with legal counsel, Title I, MRSA 4056E. I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call please, Sarah.
Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seely?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. Thank you, everyone. I need a motion to come out of executive session, please.
I make that motion.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll give Sarah a moment to catch up. She made the motion, AJ seconded.
Okay.
Not she, Rhonda. No further discussion. Roll call, please, Sarah.
Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seely?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. Item 12, action from executive session, if any.
None.
Item 13.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
That's quick.
All those in favor?
Roll call, please, Sarah.
Counselor Dana Cummings?
Yes.
Counselor Ray?
Yes.
Counselor Stevens?
Yes.
Counselor Seely?
Yes.
Counselor Boone?
Yes. Thank you.